Okay, Joe,
He's
you're
the
now the
prosecutor.
prosecution.
This is my first time doing something like this.
You would technically be a witness.
Okay. So in the back suit, can you go over to the jury box then? You can be our one jury. You can be our one jury member. Perfect. Joe, please present your case. Up to the
Alright.
stand. Up to the stand. Go take the stand, man. Come on.
Not here?
The podium.
No,
The
no.
podium.
Oh.
The podium.
Yeah. Yeah. Alright, so, well, this is different. Alright, so we have Kirstianna Sunrise over here. It's being prosecuted and charged for being part of a boost. We have body cam footage available from my vehicle and myself's body cam, showing that she was at the drop off with a vehicle. I also have body cam footage of the driver of the stolen boost dropping the vehicle off and then hopping into the vehicle and shouting, "Drive, drive, drive."
Okay, perfect.
And then I followed the vehicle all the way up until they crashed to where two suspects jumped out of the vehicle, one being Kirstianna, and no idea who the other one was. They were all
Okay.
covered up.
Yeah, all good. So, just making sure I've got the facts right.
And in that vehicle there that the guy hopped into, he was shouting for her to get into the car, and she did not get into the car in time as I tased her as she ran towards it.
Susie, and just making sure the boost was completed, correct?
Correct.
Okay, I think we have Joe, you can return to your stands, please.
And video footage if you would like to
That's all good.
view that footage.
We'll get that later. Okay, I think it's been established that Kirstianna was at the scene of a crime. Kirstianna, do you deny the facts?
Absolutely.
So you weren't at the scene, weren't at the scene where you were arrested?
I was there, but I was not part of it.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. You're just at the scene at the
Yeah,
moment.
yeah,
correct?
right. Sorry.
Okay, so we're gonna establish that she was at the scene. It relies that the burden of proof now falls upon the defense to prove what Kirstianna was doing at the scene. Defense, please make a case.
All right, Kirstianna, what were you doing at the scene of the supposed drop-off of said boost?
I was taking a nap in my car.
So you were not involved in any way of the boost?
No.
Does the prosecution have evidence that you were involved in the boost?
Like, I don't think so, but I mean, I don't know.
But if you were just taking a nap, then they would assumedly not have
Exactly.
evidence. And your car was unlocked, yes?
Yeah.
Meaning anyone could see the car was parked on the side of the road and would jump in the vehicle?
Yeah.
And did you know the person that jumped into the vehicle?
I have no clue who it was.
Alright, so she was taking a nap at the scene of where the supposed boost was dropped off. And she does not know the person who jumped into the vehicle and stole said vehicle from her while she was in it.
I object.
On what grounds?
Yeah, on what grounds?
Person in the
Do you know what the
vehicle
grounds
was
are?
shouting, telling her to drive. I'll let that again. I
I'm
don't
sure
know
the
what the
person
grounds
was
are.
just assuming that there was a driver in the vehicle.
If she was in the back seat, how could she drive?
I was just sleeping. How was a what?
I object, Your Honor. What are your grounds? The grounds that she's fucking lying.
Yes, that's the one.
Can you prove
Okay,
this? You're
okay.
lying. What?
Objection hearsay.
Yeah, there we go. There's a fucking ground. You even know what that means?
Are we gonna have a Johnny
It's
Depp
just one
case
person saying something. So it's pretty much
that has
saying.
no
It's pretty
evidential
much
backing?
he said, she said, basically.
I
It has
Oh,
no
hold
evidential
up.
backing other than well, this person said this person said this thing.
I mean, if she was in the back of the car and the officer said that, how could the officer then straight away say, "Yeah, she was told to drive" when she's in the back seat?
so
That makes no
so
sense.
pretty much hearsay is it's not relevant to the case. There is one for what you're saying, but it's not that one. I forgot what your one's talking about.
I was in the back.
It'd be objection for relevance, I think.
Here, just let me
I'm
go
just
drive your
Okay.
car in the back seat.
You want to drive my car?
So one could
So-
assume that the person that jumped into the vehicle thought there was someone in the driver's seat, and then was telling that person to drive, assuming that there was a person in there. Correct? Kirstianna?
Oh, what?
This is-
Yes.
this is-
This is where you say yes or no.
I said yes.
Okay. So then Cristiano was taking a nap in the back seat of the vehicle. Person who completed said boost or alleged boost jumped into the vehicle. So it was telling the imaginary person that was supposedly in the driver's seat to drive. And then proceeded to take off with her car while she was still in the back. So
Does the
then,
defense-
upon your arrest, you would have. Did you run to the police, assuming that they would help protect you from this person who stole your vehicle?
Well, yeah, I trust Officer Joe.
And you said you could not identify the person who stole your vehicle, correct?
I have no idea who it was.
So you could assume that the person that jumped into another vehicle after your vehicle was disabled was assuming that you could identify them?
I don't know who it was. What is the question? What?
The question was, could you make the assumption that the person thought you would be able to identify them?
Yeah, but I don't know who it was.
Okay. Ethan, do you have any questions?
Do you rest your case, defense?
Yeah, pretty
Defense
much.
rests for this time.
Okay, perfect. I want to hear from your junior counsel.
Oh,
Come over
me?
here, junior counsel. Yeah, that's you. Right, junior counsel, do you have anything to add?
Not really. Other than, yeah, or the officer said she was in the back of the car. My client says she was sleeping in the back of the car. Kirstianna, did you pull out to sleep because you were feeling drowsy while driving?
Yeah, I don't like driving because I tend to nod off and crash into stuff. And I had just gotten out of jail. I was tired. I needed a nap.
So one would assume that you're being an incredibly responsible and safe driver by taking a nap instead of driving drowsy.
Exactly. Who wants someone all over the roads?
I mean, I'd commend her for that, but for not driving drowsy. At least just not putting other drivers at risk. I've got no further questions, Your Honour.
And you rest your case?
I got nothing else to add, so I guess so.
Perfect. You may return to your stand. So as it stands right now, my conclusion of the facts stated that Kirstianna was sleeping in the back of her car when all of a sudden a masked individual came and stole her car, drove off with it, drove to some sort of area to sell it or drop it off or something like that. The masked individual then hopped into another car, and then Kirstianna was arrested. Kirstianna, does that sound correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Joe, is there any other information would you like to or sorry,
Yes, please.
the burden of proof now comes back to you. Is there anything you'd like to add?
All right. I'd like to add that she has been involved in previous boosts along with other individuals before. She has also recently stolen a police vehicle, which had a bolo out for that I arrested her for earlier today.
Objection relevance.
Fuck, I forgot the term.
So hearsay for this one.
No, relevance is correct.
That's like a saying that
Relevance
that
correct.
I think
Uh,
so.
I would say I stealing a police car is relevant to this case.
Yeah, sustained. You're right.
I would say all
Stealing a
of
police
all
car
these are past.
isn't relevant to the case. However, what is relevant is her boosting crimes, and the court will take that into consideration. And the jury will take that into
And
consideration.
also the body cam footage of them shouting and whatnot. I have that to provide as well.
Ah, too easy. Do you rest?
Yeah.
Do both? Do you want to go back to your stand then? Sides then rest their cases.
I would like to approach the podium.
Yep. Please, sir, Mr. Senior Counsel.
I would argue that past crimes that have already had their time served does not provide any relevance to this current crime, where someone was just happened to be at the scene of a crime.
Yep, I understand what you're saying. However, it's not a evidence of whether she has committed a crime or has not. However, it's just used in determining the specifics of the crime, whether if it's more likely or not that she did commit the crime.
Understood.
And that's why I just said to the jury, I'm going to instruct the jury in a second on
I'd
how
like to say
to
one more
receive that
thing, but
information.
I don't know what I meant to
Yeah,
say.
yep.
I'm gonna kick the podium soon.
Would you like to say anything, Kirstianna?
No, I'm good. Sorry.
Okay.
So, one other thing, the person that had jumped out of the vehicle and hopped into the other vehicle also called out her name, so they must know who that was in the vehicle.
Objection.
On what
Relevance.
grounds?
They must know that she was in the vehicle and know her.
Denied.
I would say
The court hears this piece of evidence. The fact that must be made that if Kirstianna was a unknown sleeper, she must have not been known by the masked individual. And if she was known by the masked individual, that would put her in a much worse position, and may
approach?
put her in a position. Okay, hey, let me finish.
I'm
Put
gonna
it
get
in a
real angry.
position-
Kirstianna, please
Kirstianna,
keep
please.
composure.
Don't worry, we'll be finished in a second, Kirstianna. They're gonna say one more thing, and then I think we'll be done.
I'll
Yeah, pretty
practice
much
my
it.
Pilates.
Practice your Pilates, your yoga, meditation.
Yes, yoga.
Okay.
approach?
Yeah, so we'll be taking that into consideration, unless the defense has something to say about this piece of evidence.
Yes. Kirstianna is a well-known as the VU, Vanilla Unicorn owner. So it would make sense that the individual would be able to identify the owner, as she would probably make an appearance at the VU.
That's some confounding information. Yeah, that makes sense. But didn't you say Kirstianna was wearing a mask or something?
No,
She would have been wearing
She
what
was
she's wearing
sleeping.
now, surely.
She was wearing.
Oh, some pajamas
she
or
would
something.
be wearing what she's wearing right now.
Oh, perfect. Well, yep. Jury, you've been instructed to ignore that piece of information then. That Kirstianna, the name obviously Kirstianna is quite popular, and so people would be able to recognize her. And is that all for both sides?
Yeah, Your Honor, may I approach your stand?
Of course.
I mean, may I ask the officer, now the prosecution, something?
You may.
Officer, is there any? Did the individual that called out her name, like, were they holding any weapons or anything? Are you sure they weren't threatening her to get in the car?
There was definitely no weapons in hand. They jumped out of the vehicle and ran straight to the vehicle.
Are you sure they weren't saying in a threatening manner?
Did not seem threatening. It seemed like it was in a bit of a panicky sort of yell to get in the car, get in the car. And she was just telling them, go, go, leave me.
I mean,
The prosecution's making.
Your Honor,
Yeah, it's all right. I'm here.
I mean, Your Honor, would you agree that a panicked yell would sound similar to a threatening yell?
No, but
I'd like to show the Honor the footage.
yeah, if you can send it through, Joe. But I think we're pretty much concluded here. But I understand what you're saying, but I don't think that's relevant. I think it's known that Kirstianna just being yelled her name, people can react differently, and we can't actually the court cannot without the person being here in the court, we can't actually justify her tone of voice or how it said what. And so your claims to help the case bear no grounds.
You know, fair enough, Your Honor.
If you may take a seat.
Thank you.
Jury, if you want to come over into the room with me. No snoopers, you. Yeah, no snoopers. Okay. Sorry, I'll be quick. Guilty or
I like
innocent?
our defense.
I think it was.
Guilty? And for what grounds?
Circumstantial.
At best.
I agree with you.
Please
Kirsty-
contain yourself,
Kirsty,
Kirstianna.
please remain calm.
Are you shouting?
Hard to be cold.
No, I know what you're saying.
Do your meditations.
Breathing.
Um.
In through the nose.
All
out
right,
through the
don't
all
mouth.
work.
standing. Everyone stand for your honor. Perfect. I am now ready to sentence Kirstianna. Kirstianna, if you want to take the podium.
Do I get to do yoga so I don't kick it?
Kirstianna, the jury and I have come to a conclusion. We find you on the count of being involved in a boost vehicle innocent. However, we do find you that being an accomplice or some sort of crime, you negligently and ignored your responsibility to community by not fleeing from the scene of the officer.
What?
In that, hold up. Let me finish, please, Kirstianna. In that case, we are going to find you guilty. Hold up, Kirstianna, before you
This
get
is
mad.
my thinking circle. I'm okay.
It's okay. And we are
I'll hold
charging
still.
you with we'll be charging you with a $2,000 fine and no time served, as you did serve some term in the prison. However, it's just as a kind of a slap on the wrist for obstructing justice, as you did hinder our case while fleeing the scene, which caused Joe to arrest you.
Okay.
Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Okay, court dismissed.